Hi, my name is Hein Lam, like the ketchup without the Z. Thanks for taking time to consider my proposal. And before I begin, I want to say that I did read the directions, and I'm going to try my best not to break any of the rules that were laid out. The question I want to address today is how can I translate lean startup methodology into language and tools that work for my specific company? This question was really near and dear to my heart because I really leaned on it when I started my own branding and marketing agency. Being a young and bootstrapped agency, I knew that being able to find an answer to this question would be very key to me being able to compete against more established and well-funded agencies out there. In order to compete, I knew that my agency needed to generate revenue quickly to keep our lights on. And we really couldn't afford the typical practice of putting out proposals or statements of work and having clients drag their feet due to the price or the timeline. And on top of that, we really needed to get customers to trust in a no-name, ragtag group of guys. And to do that, we really needed to show value quickly. Our solution was that we developed something called a Joyride, which is a paid, short-term workshop where we experiment and validate client ideas before ever writing a line of code for their website or creating any kind of marketing material. The whole idea here is that we wanted to de-risk projects, which could be very costly and time-consuming for both my clients and for my business. And because we're a branding and marketing agency, our Joyrides were centered around the idea of identifying niche markets for our customers that they should be pursuing. If we can get customers to make a tiny, small investment in us, they'd be able to see the value that we bring, and it validates our own particular approach, which distinguishes us from the rest of the market. And it also helped establish a working relationship that they wouldn't want to lose at the end of the day. Because we're cool dudes, and why wouldn't you want to work with cool guys? This allowed our customers to get a feel for what it's like to work with us without committing a lot of money and a lot of time with us. Unlike other agencies that were asking for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 commitments, we were asking for, at first, only a $500 commitment. Our Joyrides have allowed us to take a customer's idea and vision, validate it through experimentation, create an MVP for them, and a roadmap for developing and refining this idea. Given the opportunity, I'd really love to share with others how we can take this Joyride concept and translate it into something that works for other businesses. Because when we tested out Joyrides for the very first time with our customer, it really was eye-opening for them. They were pouring all this money into ads and marketing, and they weren't even putting it into the right audience. Helping them figure this out alone helped pay for that initial Joyride. Once we were able to identify what their actual target market would be, we proposed a roadmap on how to market to them, and the client immediately signed on with us without having to negotiate price. Our first Joyride was $500. We're now charging upwards of $3,000 to $5,000 for Joyride. So we're 10xing what we've created. All in all, our Joyrides have allowed us to close contracts much more quickly, have kept costs down for our client because we're only creating what's essential and validated, and it's really helped us clearly define scope. At the end of the day, you don't have to be a product-based company to apply lean startup principles and concepts to your business. They shouldn't just be dismissed because you aren't building an app or building a product. Service-based companies can benefit from these ideas of running experiments and creating MVPs. All they need is just a way to tailor it to their particular business. Thanks again for taking the time to listen to my story and for going on this Joyride with me.